In a galaxy where alien empires rule with power and fear, one simple human act of kindness changed everything. This is the story of the moment. An alien heir ran to a human, and the entire palace fell silent. The first rule of visiting the Zirathi royal palace was simple: do not make sudden movements. The second rule was even simpler: do not touch royalty. So when the massive crystal doors parted, and the Queen's daughter, heir to the most powerful empire in this spiral arm, broke into a full sprint and launched herself straight at me, the entire palace froze. Guards raised plasma spears. Advisors hissed an alarm. Noble delegates from a dozen species recoiled. The air itself vibrated as defensive fields powered up. And there I was, Daniel Carter, human cultural envoy from Earth. Barry, 3 days off a transport ship, wearing a borrowed diplomatic sash, and suddenly catching an alien princess in my arms. She wrapped all 4 of her slender arms around my torso and buried her glowing blue face into my chest. Daniel, you came back. Silence fell like a gravity well. I swallowed. Oh, hello again. Lyri's Queen Zolthera rose slowly from her throne of living crystal, nearly 3 meters tall, her iridescent exoskeleton reflecting the palace lights, her eyes like twin suns locking onto me. You know my daughter. Every instinct told me I was about to die. Yes, your radiance. We met once. Once. My mind raced back 6 months earlier. Back then, I wasn't an envoy, or just a rescue officer on a human relief cruiser responding to a distress beacon near a shattered moon. We found a damaged alien escape pod drifting among debris. Inside, a small, frightened Zirathi child, her bioluminescence flickering weakly. To us, she was just a kid in trouble. We carried her aboard, treated her injuries, and for 3 days, we stayed with her, talked to her, played simple games, taught her Earth songs and stories. She couldn't pronounce my name, so she called me Danya. When her people finally arrived, soldiers like living tanks boarded our ship, weapons ready. We handed her over gently. She looked back at me, glowing brighter. Danya friend. Then, she was gone. Now, she stood in the heart of her people's power, hugging me before the entire empire. He saved my life. Danya stayed when I was scared. He brought me water. He sang to me. I cannot sing, I said, a bit awkwardly. It was more like talking badly in tune. A few soft alien chuckles echoed in the hall. The Queen spoke again. You are the human who tended my daughter. Here's your radiance. She stepped down from her throne, slow, powerful. You touched her, comforted her, spoke to her as an equal. She was a child in pain. That's what humans do. Murmurs spread through the crowd. Among the Zirathi royalty was sacred, untouchable. Lyris just held my arm tighter. I told them about humans, she said. Dad, you don't fear us. 2. The Queen's gaze was intense. Did you know who she was? No. We just knew someone needed help. There was a long pause. Then, the Queen lowered her head. Gasps filled the hall. You showed kindness when you had nothing to gain. Among my people, such a debt is eternal. Her voice grew loud, ringing through the chamber. There. Let it be known, the human Daniel Carto is under the protection of the Zirathi throne. The weapons lowered. Elias beamed. See? I told you my mother would like you. This is one way to make a first impression, I managed to say. You humans venture into darkness, not to conquer, but to rescue, the Queen declared. The stars will remember this. We're not heroes. We just don't like leaving people behind. Lyra squeezed my arm. That's why humans are my favorite. The hall erupted in what sounded like alien applause. The queen gestured toward the throne. Come, human. Today you stand, not as envoy, but as family. And as I sat beside an alien princess, in a palace of crystalline light, I realized something. In a universe of terrifying power, humanity's greatest strength wasn't our ships, not our weapons, not our technology. It was that when a frightened child reached out in the dark, we reached back. Humanity. Yeah, if you enjoyed this HFY sci-fi story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more tales of humanity among the stars. See you in the next story.